Hi, welcome to our Pharma Topics channel. Let us see the drugs used in rheumatoid arthritis. Before that, let us see what is the pathogenesis of rheumatoid arthritis. In case of rheumatoid arthritis, the antigen presenting cells, they present the antigenic portion from the synovium to the T cells, and that to stimulate these cells they need the co-stimulation molecules such as CD80 and 86, CD28 to activate the T cell receptor. When the T cell gets activated, they stimulate two things. One is activation of macrophages and the next one is activation of B cells. The B cells, when they get activated, they release the rheumatoid factor, which is an antibody which could be detected in the patients with rheumatoid arthritis. It is a useful tool in diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis. The macrophages, when they get activated, they release a lot of inflammatory molecules called cytokines. The important cytokines among them are TNF alpha, IL-6 and IL-1. When they are released, they go and bind to the joint, cause inflammation and damage to the joint surface. So that creates the erosion of the joint and it causes severe pain. So the normal joint gets inflamed and creates irrepair or irreversible damage called rheumatoid arthritis joint. So it leads to erosive and inflammatory joint damage. Let us see the drugs in this case. So the first one is abatacept. It is a co-stimulation inhibitor. The next is disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs like methotrexate and leflunomide, and B-cell depleter rituximab, IL-1 antagonist anakinra, IL-6 antagonist tocilizumab, and TNF-alpha inhibitors are monoclonal antibodies such as etanercept, infliximab, golimumab, adalimumab, and certolizumab. Let us see how these drugs are classified. The first one is corticosteroids. They are not the main therapy, but they are used as a bridge therapy, and it takes a longer time to get the effect established for the disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. Till that time, the steroids could be used, and they can be used as add-on therapy with the disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. In the disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs, there are two categories. One is synthetic, methotrexate, sulfasalazine, leflunomide, hydroxychloroquine, minocycline, tofacitinib, gold salts, and penicillamine. And all the other DMARDs are new and they are biological molecules and they are subcategorized into TNF alpha inhibitors as we have seen previously. There are 5 TNF alpha inhibitors: etanercept, infliximab, adalimumab, golimumab, and certolizumab. Co-stimulation inhibitors are abatacept and belatacept. IL-6 inhibitors are tocilizumab and sarilumab. B-cell depleter such as rituximab and IL-1 receptor antagonist anakinra. Let us see about methotrexate. It is the first choice disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drug. It is also having an anti-inflammatory effect. The adverse effects are minimal because methotrexate is given weekly once in case of treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. The common adverse effects are GI disturbances and stomatitis is more common. Other adverse effects are pancytopenia and hepatotoxicity. When methotrexate could not be given, it is not tolerated. If it is not tolerated by the patient, they go for sulfasalazine. It's a combination of sulfapyridine and aminosalicylic acid. The next drug is leflunomide. It's a prodrug. Its active metabolite inhibits an important enzyme dihydropyridine dehydrogenase, which is involved in the purine and pyrimidine synthesis, which reduces the growth of B cells. It is the fastest acting drug. It takes around 4 weeks to establish its effect, whereas methotrexate takes a longer period. Till that time, the corticosteroids can be given as a bridge therapy. Hydroxychloroquine is an analog of the anti-malarial drug chloroquine that could be used as an anti-rheumatic drug. And minocycline is reserved for early mild cases. The mechanism is not known. And JAK3 inhibitors. tofacitinib and baricitinib, they are reserved for the rheumatoid arthritis cases in which other drugs would not be given. And all these drugs, when they are going to be administered, the patient should be screened for latent tuberculosis. Otherwise, TB will get affected. And the obsolete drugs are gold and D-penicillamine. They are highly efficacious drugs, but because of the more common adverse effects such as dermatitis, renal damage, pulmonary fibrosis, and bone marrow depression, these drugs are not used nowadays. Then widely used drugs nowadays are biological DMARDs, TNF alpha inhibitors, such as the monoclonal antibodies, and they are given subcutaneously. It is mandatory to screen for latent tuberculosis. Co-stimulation inhibitors such as abatacept and belatacept are approved for patients who cannot tolerate or they don't respond to methotrexate and TNF alpha inhibitors. IL-6 receptor antagonist tocilizumab is approved for combination with methotrexate to treat the rheumatoid arthritis. In this COVID situation, it's a very important drug. It has been proved it reduces the cytokine release syndrome, which causes death in the COVID patients. The analog of the tocilizumab is sarilumab. The next is B-cell depleters, such as rituximab, approved for the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis in combination with methotrexate. The next one is IL-1 receptor antagonist, anakinra. The next category of drugs, anti-rheumatic drugs, are for osteoarthritis. Basically, osteoarthritis is the arthritis of weight-bearing joints, particularly hip, knees, hands, and spine. And these are age related, and there are no much drugs for the osteoarthritis. Usually they are managed with the pain relievers such as NSAIDs. Other approved drugs are diacerin, it is IL-1 receptor antagonist, lycophenolone, which is a cyclooxygenase and lipoxygenase inhibitor, and hyaluronic acid, and duloxetine, which is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So I hope I have given a nutshell information of all the anti-rheumatic drugs. I hope it will be useful for you. Thank you for listening. Happy learning. Kindly share this to more of your friends and subscribe to our Pharma Topics channel and encourage us. Thank you.